Hey y'all, happy Wednesday. Welcome to another episode of What's Cooking in the Whitaker House. I am just doing a regular Wednesday night meal for us. I don't know about y'all, but it is really cold here in Texas, so I thought soup would be the perfect thing to have tonight. So while I show you what's in the soup, I'm gonna get my pot heating up, but we're gonna do cheeseburger soup tonight, and this is a lean and green recipe. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about what that means as we kind of make it. But initially what I'm gonna do is show you what's in it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I have a pound of lean ground beef. I usually always go for 96.4 if they have it. Today 97.3 was on sale for like $2 less, so I went with that. But I'm just gonna dump that straight into my pot and let that start to sizzle. The great thing about this particular lean and green recipe is it's 4 servings. So you dump everything in a pot, you cook it, and then you split it into 4, and that's 4 equal lean and greens. Those of you that are following along on Optavia, it is a 1 full lean, 3 greens, and 3 condiments. So this is a full lean and green. You just eat a big whole bowl of this hearty soup, and it's super good. So I've got my pound of ground beef going. The other ingredients for this soup, and I'll make sure I put the recipe in the comments down below. I'm gonna need some onion. I'm going to need some celery. I'm going to need baby spinach, chicken broth, fire roasted tomatoes, cheddar cheese, this is what makes it cheeseburger, and then some seasonings. I need Worcestershire sauce, dried parsley, black pepper, and then I tend to like spicy, so I'm gonna do some crushed red pepper flakes as well. I'm gonna go grab my little masher to mash this meat up in here, because I forgot to grab it before I came over there, and you know what, it's probably actually in the dishwasher. I hope you guys can hear me over the sizzle. But yeah, I'm just gonna brown off this ground beef, and I'm gonna cut up, it calls for 1/4 cup of onion and 3/4 cup of celery for this recipe. And onion on the Optavia plan counts as a condiment, not as a vegetable. So you have to remember that. But like I said, this is 3 condiments, a full lean, and 3 greens. If you guys have questions, you can definitely put them in the chat, and I will address those as we go. This pot was screaming hot, so it's actually taking about 2 seconds to brown this ground beef. So I'm gonna chop this celery and onion up, and while I do that, hopefully I can multitask, but I wanted to talk about the premise behind a lean and green, because I feel like a lot of people say, oh, she's that Optavia coach, she does all that pre-packaged food. And I think it's really important to address that concept about Optavia. So the deal is this, Optavia does have fuelings. That is one piece of the program, and they're used to quickly and effectively get the weight off. But guess what? It's a means to an end. The goal is that you're gonna get back to a healthy whole foods diet, and so much of our program is teaching you what that looks like. So just for those of you wondering, you're gonna eventually wanna get to 3 lean and greens, which is like cheeseburger soup, and 3 healthy snacks a day. And we're gonna coach you how to do that. So the premise of the lean and green in the Optavia 5-in-1 weight loss is to teach you the skills you need to know to be able to maintain your health beyond the fuelings and beyond the weight loss phase. So I just did 1/4 cup of onion, and I think I was a little shy, so I'm gonna add just a little bit more. It doesn't take much onion to give it really good flavor. And this is kind of a dump and go soup. Once you get this meat ground, you're just gonna dump everything into the bowl and let it cook for 20 minutes, and it literally could not be any easier. The other nice thing about this is the spinach wilts down, so you sneak in like a lot of greens without your kids or your husband really knowing. I don't know about y'all, but my husband will not eat lettuce or anything that resembles lettuce, so that works out really well to get this green in without knowing. And I'm gonna turn this down already to low because my meat is already browned. I'm just gonna give a rough chop to my celery. I don't mind big pieces in my soup, but you can do it however small you like it. Once again, that's 3/4 cup of celery. I'm gonna throw that in, and then once I have that in, everything else is just dump and go, so we just open and pour. So the greens in this recipe are coming from the celery and the spinach, and then your protein is coming from the meat and the cheese. I'm gonna look at what I'm doing so I don't accidentally chop my finger off. And once again, if you're just joining, this is gonna be 4 full servings, so you're just gonna break this pot into 4 bowls when you're done. My kids actually do not love this recipe because of the spinach. I said you could probably sneak it in. Mine have learned that I try to sneak it in, so I'm going to let them have an alternate kid meal tonight, which sometimes I do. I'm just gonna brown them up some ground beef to throw on some pasta for them. But that means Brent and I will have 2 nights worth of lean and greens here, and this freezes really well too. So I'm gonna do that. Now we're just dumping, okay? So 20 minutes this is gonna cook. I need fire roasted diced tomatoes. The fire roasted makes all the difference. So I'm just gonna dump 1 whole can of fire roasted diced tomatoes in there. And I'm gonna dump 1 whole container of chicken broth. The recipe calls for 3 cups. I use 4 because I don't use any salt. So, and if you can find reduced sodium chicken broth, that's always good. And then I'm also just gonna put in a teaspoon of parsley, dried parsley, and not salt, I don't use salt, pepper and red pepper flakes to taste, which this was not open yet. So you're just literally gonna turn it on like medium-low for 20 minutes and let it simmer. And once that celery is kind of soft, or however soft you like it, you're gonna pull it off the stove. You're gonna break it into 4 individual servings, just split it up equally. And then you're gonna top each serving with 1 ounce of this reduced fat shredded cheese. And you can use your food scale to measure that. So I'm just gonna eyeball 1 teaspoon here of the parsley, and then I'm gonna do red pepper and pepper to taste. Once the 20 minutes has cooked, you're gonna pour this entire container, which is about 7 cups of baby spinach, in here, let it cook for 3 minutes to wilt down, and then like I said, serve it up and top it with 1 ounce each of cheese. Guys, this is so yummy. I'm gonna post a picture of the finished product. I think you'll really like it, and this is what did this take me 10 minutes to throw together? Super easy weeknight meal.
Teacher one